After I had helped my girlfriend become famous, she turned around and chose to be with a rich guy instead. It felt like a terrible blow to my heart, and when I asked her why, she crushed the gift I had carefully prepared for her right under her feet. She was wearing the expensive high-heeled shoes the rich guy had given her. She said I was like a pair of cheap, unknown brand shoes. With the position she had now, she said, it was embarrassing to be seen with someone like me. I just gave a sad laugh and decided that if I could help her become famous, I could also help bring down her longtime rival, a girl who had been stuck in the background. In the 7th year of our relationship, I finally managed to make her a top social media star. On Christmas Eve, I went to the fast food restaurant where we always celebrated, the one that served fried chicken. I waited there for her for a long time, but she never showed up. Instead, I saw on social media that she had officially announced she was dating David, a well-known rich kid who was often involved in scandals in the entertainment world. There was a headline that read, "Top influencer caught making out with rich kid at the movie theater." I clicked on the link, and even though Sarah was wearing a hat and sunglasses, I knew it was her right away. I jumped up from the table, feeling panicked, and ran out of the restaurant. Then I tried to calm myself down. Maybe it was something she had to do for her work. I took a deep breath and called Sarah, trying to sound casual. "What do you want now?" she said impatiently on the other end, which made me feel even more worried. "Is that popular news story because of work?" I asked nervously, my heart beating fast. "No, it's not work. David suddenly wanted to see a movie, so I went with him," she replied. I froze, and my voice felt tight. "Do you remember what today is?" After a few seconds of quiet, her voice came back, sounding a little annoyed. "Ethan, that was just something we said when we were kids. There's no need to remember it forever. Besides, that fast food place is crowded and noisy. I'm a celebrity now. It's not a suitable place for me to be." I was surprised by her words, and the promise we made as children echoed in my mind. She had said, "Ethan, neither of us knows our real birthdays. Why don't we make Christmas Day our birthday? When we have more money, we'll celebrate there by eating lots of fried chicken." That Christmas, we had stood outside the window of that fried chicken restaurant, looking inside longingly, and we had made that promise. Every Christmas since then, we had treated it as our birthday and celebrated at the restaurant. Last year, she missed our tradition because of a competition, and she had cried and promised we would celebrate together this year at the fried chicken place. Yet here I was, being met with news of her kissing another guy. David's voice cut in from the other end of the call. "Are you talking to that childhood friend, your assistant? Is there something going on between you two?" "Impossible," Sarah replied quickly. "He's just my assistant. I only like you." And then she hung up the phone. I stood there feeling hopeless. Just an assistant. I had always loved Sarah. It had never been a secret. When we were kids at the orphanage, the head asked us about our dreams. I had bravely said, "I want to marry Sarah." The head had laughed and then asked, "And you, Sarah, what's your dream?" "I want to be a star and shine on stage." "Then marry Ethan," the head had added. Right then, I made a promise to myself to help Sarah achieve her dream. So after high school, I didn't go to college. Instead, I worked 3 different jobs every day. I had to earn enough money to pay for her college, her acting classes, and the costs of various competitions she entered. I felt like I had lived my life for her. From the time I was 17 until I was 23, for 7 years, I had worked to make her a star. Even when my boss saw how capable I was and offered me the position of a top agent managing famous stars, I turned it down. I was happy just being a simple assistant by Sarah's side, but now, in her eyes, I had become just an assistant. I started walking back towards my neighborhood when a car stopped in front of me. David got out and opened the passenger door for Sarah. They linked arms and smiled, a sight that really hurt my eyes. "Sarah, Is this male assistant of yours bothering you at home?" David looked at me with clear dislike and unfriendly feelings. They had met through talking on social media. Back then, Sarah had done very well in a talent show. David, being a rich kid, had sent her many compliments on social media. Sarah had thanked him politely. I had felt jealous back then, and I nervously asked Sarah, "David is quite good-looking and rich. What if you fall for him?" Sarah had laughed and patted my head. "Don't be silly. I have you. Who else could be better than you?" I was thrilled. Even though we had never officially said we were a couple, I thought we were unofficially together. But now, in her words, I was just a random assistant. "Honey, don't misunderstand," Sarah quickly explained to David, looking at me with a little annoyance, as if I shouldn't have been there. "For convenience, he just rents a place in this neighborhood, too." "But you're my girlfriend now," David said firmly. "I don't want you to have other guys around." Sarah hesitated, then immediately told me, "Ethan, my boyfriend doesn't want you as my assistant. You should quit." She added, "But don't worry, I'll find you an easy job." I felt like a complete joke. She had promised she would keep me by her side forever. Now, just one word from David, and I was being pushed aside. Suddenly, cameras and a lot of people gathered around us, drawn by the scene. A huge crowd formed. In the confusion, someone stepped on David's foot, causing him to cry out in pain. Sarah immediately became upset. I pushed the person standing next to David, and in doing so, I ended up falling to the ground. "Why are you all crowding around? You're stepping on David!" she yelled angrily, while covering him protectively. I sat there in a daze, getting my feet stepped on and kicked in the back by others. Strangely, I didn't feel any pain. I just stared blankly at Sarah protecting David, feeling even more like a joke. That night, I couldn't sleep at all. Sarah publicly announced her relationship with David. What was funny was that I was in the photo on the news page, too. They looked glamorous and perfect together, while I sat on the ground looking foolish. Some people online wrote comments like, "Look at Sarah's fan realizing she's in a relationship. It's like watching a dream shatter." Do those male fans really think they have a chance with Sarah? Only a prince belongs with a princess like her. I quietly put my phone down. Yes, I had helped Sarah become a princess, but she didn't want me because I wasn't a prince. She didn't know I had given up my chance to shine for her. I took a deep breath and planned to go get my things from Sarah's place. I figured she would be away filming at this time, but as I opened her door, I heard some sounds. Sarah was talking on speakerphone with her friend while putting on a face mask. Her friend was saying, "Sarah, you really got yourself a rich second-generation star. But what about Ethan? Everyone knows he likes you. I thought you would marry him." Hearing this, my heart tightened. I was anxious to hear Sarah's answer. "Ethan's not bad, but nothing special," she said. "Like a shoe from a brand nobody knows. With my status now, it's embarrassing to wear them outside." She continued, "I know he likes me. I liked him too. But we're not a good match anymore. I'll still help him out, though. He's just a high school graduate. How can he make it on his own?" Hearing that, I froze for a moment and couldn't help but laugh quietly. What was I expecting? Hearing Sarah say it out loud made me realize she looked down on me. I had spent all my youth and effort trying to raise her up, but when she looked down from her high position, she criticized me for not being her equal. I suddenly felt regret. Why didn't I just stick to being a very good manager? Why did I have to be her assistant just to stay close to her? Sarah turned around after hearing my laugh, and when she saw me, she quickly hung up the call, looking a little panicked. "Heard everything?" I asked. She awkwardly bit her lip, unsure of what to do with her hands. I nodded. For some reason, I wasn't angry. "I came to get my things, since I'm no longer your assistant," I said simply. Hearing that, Sarah's eyes shifted, and she couldn't look me in the eye. "Ethan, don't worry," she said. "I'll help you find an easy job, or worst case, I can help you out a bit every month to make sure you live well. You were good to me, after all." Her offer of charity made me laugh more, this time at myself for always working so hard for her. "No thanks," I said. "Let's not stay in touch. A shoe from a brand nobody knows shouldn't make a star like you seem less special." She looked uncomfortable for a moment, but then insisted, "Ethan, it was just a comparison I made in the moment. You're a grown man. Why be so sensitive?" "Isn't it the truth?" I asked. "You're like those shoes. With my status, it would be embarrassing." I looked at her calmly. "Look at where I am and where you are. Do you still think we are a match? Only someone like David is suitable for me." She continued, "Besides, I offered to support you. With your skills and education, how could you have a good life by yourself? Isn't that kind of me?" She lectured me without realizing how much it hurt my male pride. "Sarah, keep your charity. I don't need it. I can manage on my own." "Ethan, I'll see how you will manage," she yelled angrily. "You'll come begging to me someday." I didn't even glance at her. "You'll regret this, Ethan," her shouting echoed, trying to make me react. I just laughed sadly. I was already regretting things, regretting not having realized sooner that I should live for myself. I had planned to stop being an assistant after I handed in my resignation. My boss, Miss Evans, wanted me back as a manager for new talented people. I agreed right away. Since I was going to be managing someone, why not take on Sarah's rival, Maya? Maya was another person who was training at the same time as Sarah and had been her biggest competitor during the contest days. If Maya hadn't made a powerful person angry, which caused her to be sidelined, she might have been the one who became famous instead of Sarah. Thinking about it, I couldn't help but smile a little. Didn't Sarah look down on my abilities? Then I would prove to her that her fame was entirely thanks to me. But when Sarah found out the next day that I would be managing Maya, she stormed into my office, furious. She stood there with her hands on her hips, her face red with anger. "You turned down my job offer just to grab onto something better?" she accused. "Do you really think it was you who made me famous?" David joined her, putting an arm around her waist and looking at me with dislike. "Trash with trash," he scoffed, "thinking they'll cause a stir." I replied coldly, "Yes, and only bad people with bad people last forever. Also, Maya is just better than you, Sarah. Why else would you go out of your way to hold her back then?" David's face turned dark instantly, while Sarah, standing nearby, clenched her teeth in anger. "Fine, Ethan," she said. "If you dare to talk down to me like that, then I'll just wait to see you make a fool of yourself." I smiled mockingly. "Who ends up looking foolish? We'll see about that." Given my past experience as a manager, helping Maya become famous wasn't difficult. Even though I had known Maya for a while, I didn't really understand her because Sarah didn't like her. Maya was quiet and spent most of her time looking at me with those clear, innocent eyes. It was hard to guess what she was thinking. I asked her, "Do you have any plans for your career?" She shook her head, looking at me awkwardly, appearing worried and unsure, like a blank sheet of paper. But even so, I was confident I could still make her a top star and show Sarah up. "Can you handle hard work?" I asked. She nodded. I smiled a little. "Don't worry. Leave it all to me. I'll definitely make you a top star." Maya looked at me steadily, then nodded. I didn't rush to create a specific image for Maya right away. Instead, I let her casually share updates on her social media accounts first. After watching her for a month, I finally figured out a path that suited her. Her appearance stood out with big, clear, and innocent eyes, like a puppy's. Plus, she was naturally quiet. So I created a cool, yet shy image for her, giving her a college girl look that improved both her style and appearance. With professional videos and scripts I had written for her videos, in just 10 days, one of her videos became very popular online. From then on, Maya was included in social media compilations of beautiful people. She also gained tens of thousands of followers. Riding on that popularity, I got her a job on a reality show about farming. Unlike fake reality shows, Maya genuinely knew how to farm. She was great at doing things around the house and knew all sorts of things about farming and plants. Along with her innocent looks and cool but shy way of being, she won over a large group of fans. Miss Evans was very happy with how well Maya was doing and praised me many times during company meetings. Yet every meeting we had, Sarah showed up, even though she didn't need to be there. Each compliment Miss Evans gave me made Sarah's face look darker. Sarah stopped me as I was leaving the meeting room. "You don't actually think you have talent, do you?" she said. "I'm telling you, you just got lucky." Hearing Sarah talk down to me like that, I just found her sad. Instead of criticizing me, maybe she should worry about herself. "I heard you've been losing a lot of fans lately," I told her. Seeing Sarah grit her teeth at my words, it was clear she was struggling. Sarah was originally a female pop idol, and being openly in a relationship was already something fans didn't like. Plus, David was known for dating many people, which naturally upset many fans. Sarah had also been late to several events, like over half an hour late, which didn't help things. The media and the general public made fun of her, saying she had become arrogant since dating a rich kid. Her reputation got much worse, and her fan base became significantly smaller. I knew she didn't mean to be late. It was just that she was used to me taking care of everything. I would remind her about each event and take her there myself. I guessed that David's assistant wasn't doing as much for her, and without me managing things behind the scenes, her work was disorganized now. "But that has nothing to do with me anymore," Sarah said. "What's losing a few fans compared to what I've built? I still have popularity and influence, something your beginner will never reach, even if she tries her whole life." She gave a frustrated look at Maya and me. "Maya will definitely pass you one day," I said confidently. Maya gave me a look of thanks, as if she had found some courage, and said firmly to me, "Ethan, I'll work really hard." I smiled and nodded at her. Sarah's face twisted in frustration. "Two foolish people. I'd like to see how you'll climb over me. Ethan, you're just waiting to make a fool of yourself. This beginner, she'll never be anything more than a pretty face." Sarah huffed, turned, and walked off. After Maya's reality show finished, she gained a lot of fans and received praise from the people who made the show. But there were some people who were jealous and unimpressed. Rising to fame just by looks and farming? Seriously, farming all the time. Might as well go back to the countryside. Isn't it embarrassing to farm in the entertainment industry? They commented. Sarah even used social media to subtly criticize Maya, writing, "I got to where I am through hard work and practice, unlike some who only farm and show off their looks." This only increased the mocking aimed at Maya. But I changed the situation by getting Maya into a live performance project. The show featured new actors and actresses with famous award-winning actors as teachers. Although Maya had no previous experience and wasn't professionally trained, she was going to compete against people who were. The show started, causing a lot of discussion. Maya faced mockery at first. People said she was there just to be a joke. But Maya put in the effort. Any advice she received from the teachers, she would completely focus on learning. Her normal and hard-working attitude won over many people. As viewers saw Maya improve day by day, their opinions started to change. At first, I thought she was here just to be funny and get attention, they wrote. Turns out she's genuinely putting in the work. I heard her family background isn't great. She left school in her junior year, but she was among the top 10 students in her class before. She entered show business to support her family. I'm one of Maya's classmates. She's super genuine and kind-hearted. On the outside, she seems a little distant, but that's just because she's an introvert. Now that people finally recognize her, I'm really happy about it." Maya's reputation improved, and her popularity increased significantly. Thanks to the show, she was mentioned in several different popular online topics almost every day. She started getting offers for product endorsements and acting roles. As her manager, I was very happy. I chose a serious, artistic film for her, where she would play a supporting role as a caring sister. Even if it was a small part, it could really stand out if done well. Maya joined the production, but things didn't seem to be going well for Sarah. Sarah and David were sweet together at the start, and some fans even hoped they would stay together as a couple. But lately, the photographers caught David treating Sarah coldly, while Sarah was always chasing after him. After a few more incidents, Sarah's fans started getting upset. No one liked to see their favorite star being made fun of online as someone who was desperate. They urged her to break up with David, but Sarah refused and even yelled at her fans for getting involved in her private life. Most of her fans became people who disliked her, posting mocking videos of her online. Suddenly, she found herself being targeted by everyone on the internet. I saw Sarah again at a gathering for people in the industry. Maya had just finished filming, and some clips of her acting were posted online and praised by everyone. Miss Evans handed me an invitation, suggesting I take Maya to network and create more opportunities for her. When Maya and I arrived, I saw Sarah and David already there, their faces red, seeming to be in the middle of a fight. There were a lot of people watching, and I couldn't help but be curious. "David, what have you been doing lately?" Sarah complained, holding on to David's hand, clearly upset. "Ignoring my messages and calls is one thing, but now you're talking to other actresses on social media. What are you trying to do? If I hadn't come to this gathering, I wouldn't have even seen you." David looked annoyed. "Come on, Sarah. We've only been together a little while, and you're already acting like this matters so much. I liked you because you became a top female celebrity. Who knew you'd end up like this in just 6 months? If I were you, I'd know my place. Avoiding you is just my way of not wanting to see you. Do you really think you're a match for me now? You're nothing." Sarah's face turned white as she stared at David in disbelief. I felt a little amused. Sarah had looked down on me before, and now she was the one being looked down upon by David. "Sarah, stop clinging to me," David said, looking at me. "You can only manage someone as useless as your assistant. You're not in my league," he mocked, pointing at me while speaking to Sarah. When Sarah noticed me, she looked embarrassed and ashamed. She turned and stumbled away, almost running off. Although the incident wasn't spread among everyone in the industry, Sarah became a laughingstock in the entertainment world behind the scenes. Sarah's agent had a difficult time. He used to be the most respected and successful agent in the company. Now he was constantly frustrated with Sarah, saying she was impossible to manage. Relationship problems, difficult behavior, a lack of social skills. Each one of these was a serious issue in the entertainment industry. Sarah used to have so much work that she didn't even need to visit the company offices. Now she often showed up, looking almost desperate, looking for work. She used to be treated well by everyone at the company. Now everyone looked at her with a mocking expression, which was hard for Sarah to handle, often leaving her feeling sad and discouraged. Compared to Sarah, Maya's career was going much better. Her first artistic film might not have made a lot of money, but it received a lot of praise. Several well-known directors saw how talented she was and started contacting her. It wasn't just business partners who offered opportunities to Maya, even Sarah's agent did. During another company meeting, Sarah's agent directly suggested to Miss Evans, "Sarah's popularity has dropped a lot. Many partners don't want to work with her anymore. Keeping so many resources tied up with her is a waste. Why not let another agent take Sarah? I want to manage Maya." When Sarah heard this, Tears filled her eyes as she looked jealously at Maya, but she didn't dare speak up. She had been left by her fans, her partners, and David. Now even her agent was leaving her, all because they didn't think she was a good match for them anymore. Other than Sarah feeling miserable, everyone else in the room looked with envy at Maya. After all, they knew Ken had the best connections and resources. If managed by him, and if they stayed out of trouble like Sarah, becoming a top star was very likely. I suddenly felt a little worried. I had put a lot of effort into helping Maya over the past 6 months. I wanted to know if Maya would leave me for better opportunities. Like Sarah did. It made me feel uneasy. You'll see. Everyone will eventually grab any chance to climb higher. I've been left behind, and Ethan, you'll be next. I wasn't wrong back then. I was just following what usually happens. Sarah whispered to me when she suddenly appeared beside me. Maya, what do you think? Miss Evans asked. Maya glanced at me, then at Ken. Thanks, Ken, for your interest, she replied politely. But I've gotten this far thanks to Ethan's support. He's put in a lot of effort for me, and I don't want to be ungrateful. I'll stick with him through everything. Hearing that, I finally felt a sense of relief, seeing Maya's clear and bright smile directed at me. I couldn't help but feel my heart beat faster. Sarah was shocked, clearly not expecting Maya to make such a decision. I turned to her and said, Sarah, not everyone is as ungrateful as you are. Maya, you made a good choice, Miss Evans laughed. Ethan is the top agent I wanted 2 years ago. He was managing Mark. Is that the Mark who's a movie star? One person exclaimed. Everyone looked at me in shock. What other Mark would it be in show business? Back then, I really thought highly of Ethan and wanted to hire him for our company, Miss Evans continued. But he wasn't interested. If it weren't for Sarah signing with us, I wouldn't have had the chance to work with him. Miss Evans gave Sarah a meaningful look. Sarah looked at me with a complicated expression, showing disbelief on her face. Why didn't you tell me before? She asked, her voice trembling. I guess she realized what she had missed out on. It was funny how things turned out. I had kept it a secret from Sarah to avoid making things difficult for her, playing the part of her assistant. In the end, she looked down on me because I was just an assistant. What's the point of telling you now? I said coldly. I'm only supporting Maya now, not you. You betrayed me after all. Sarah bit her lip sadly and hurried away in a panic. In a panic, Sarah was assigned to an agent who handles social media influencers. She was a somewhat famous star with no connections or resources, so now she was doing live stream sales. She used to be at the top of the world. Now she was live every day, urging her fans to buy her products. David even announced their breakup, subtly saying Sarah wasn't classy and that he must have been foolish to be with her. Now he was spending time with the latest winner of the show, interacting as if he had forgotten Sarah. Even though people made fun of him for being someone who chases after famous people, he didn't care and said it was because his family was rich. Meanwhile, Maya became very successful in a movie I got for her. This time, the success was huge. She became a top star, but still had those clear eyes. When she received an award, she thanked the company, the fans, and lastly, me, her agent. She said I was like a light, making her life brighter and helping her become a star. Hearing that, even a guy like me felt a little emotional. I always thought Maya deserved my support, and now I had my own place in show business. I could finally be myself without holding back. A year later, Maya was still a top star, getting plenty of roles and awards. I had bought a large house and a nice car, living a good life. I saw Sarah again outside my house. I had just gotten home and there she was, sitting on the ground. She had gained some weight, and without a stylist, she looked tired and ordinary, very different from her days on stage. I heard that her first live streams were okay. Some loyal fans still bought things from her. But then she lost her temper on a few live streams, yelling at fans who said her products were too expensive. Her reputation got worse, and fans gave up on her, seeing that she wasn't going anywhere. Now she was barely working and had very little income. Ethan, you're finally back, she said, her eyes red and looking sad. I've been waiting for you all day. I frowned. What do you want? Ethan, I'm sorry, she said. I was too interested in fame and money. I regretted it the moment you left, but I always thought you would come back to me. I never expected you would never even look at me again. I'm sorry, I was wrong, she apologized tearfully. Back then, I couldn't stand to see her upset. But now I felt nothing. Ethan, after you left, I really realized how much you did for me. You took care of everything, every small detail, kept all my business relationships working. Once you were gone, everything fell apart, she went on. I sighed, really not in the mood for this. Finish what you're saying and leave, I told her. You're bothering my relaxation time. She flinched, but still tried to come over for a hug. I quickly stepped back. Ethan, can't you give me another chance? We grew up together. You loved me so much. I know I was wrong. Can we start over? Sarah looked like she was about to break down completely. I looked at her and firmly shook my head. Sorry, I'm a person, not a pair of shoes. You can't put me away when you don't need me and take me out when you do. And you're not sorry. You're just having a hard time. No one is there to rescue you, spend money on you, or admire you. That's why you remember me now. I told her clearly. I told you, the things I don't want, I won't look back at. Hearing that, Sarah started crying harder. Ethan, is there really no chance? We were so happy together back then. I couldn't help but chuckle slightly. Happy for you, maybe, because I was carrying the weight for you. Now, I'm happy living for myself. I looked at her calmly. If you don't leave, I'll have security escort you out. I kept my voice polite and calm. After all, I had made peace with the past. I wasn't going to be angry or bitter anymore. Sarah cried harder. Don't be so cold, Ethan. Yell at me. Hit me if you have to. But don't face me so calmly. It scares me. I glanced at her and silently took out my phone. Hello? Is this the property management? After all, Sarah was a public figure and cared about her reputation. She gave me a long, sad look, but quickly left, putting on her hat before anyone could see her. Before she left, she said to me, Ethan, I only made a small mistake, and you refused to forgive me. I was just tempted back then. I can't believe Maya wouldn't be affected by such temptation either. Besides, I know I was wrong, and I'm willing to stay with you, even marry you. What more do you want? Aren't you afraid you'll regret it later? Her words honestly made me feel sick. Maya's career had been steadily improving. Now she made a living through her acting skills, so most of her fans supported her career, and they were more loyal. But lately, David had been acting restlessly. He had been publicly liking Maya's posts frequently, and had said how much he was impressed by the characters she played. He had been trying to get close to her, both publicly and in private. Even at some public events, he appeared deliberately trying to get close to her. They had even caused some fans online to imagine them as a couple. When I saw this topic about David and Maya trending online, I couldn't help but frown. Those are all fake edits, Maya said, coming closer to me, looking a little worried. I don't like him. In a bit of a panic, I looked at her silently. She had already reached heights higher than Sarah ever did. Deep down, I wondered if she would change. What are you thinking about? She asked, raising her eyebrow at me. Before I could answer, David approached us. His look towards me was full of dislike. Maya, finally running into you in a private setting. I didn't dare approach you in public places, he said. David was indeed good-looking. Plus, he came from a wealthy family, so despite his reputation as someone who dated many people, many actresses had been interested in him. Do you need something? Maya asked with a frown. Maya, you're at a different level now, David said, looking at me with disdain. You need top-tier resources. No matter how capable your agent is, there are some resources he just can't get for you. I was about to argue, but my phone rang. When I answered, Sarah said, "Ethan, see? David tempted me the same way back then. It's not that I wasn't loyal to you, he just made it all sound so amazing. I bet Maya would abandon you, her agent, without hesitation after hearing his offers." I immediately felt uneasy all over. Sarah must be in this restaurant, watching us like some sneaky little mouse. I hung up, and David boasted proudly, "Maya, I've never liked a woman this much before. You know my family is rich. If you're with me, you can save 20 years of struggle. Not only would you get the best resources, but if we married, everything I have would be yours. What could your agent possibly offer? He's nothing compared to me." I looked at David, speechless. Was this the amazing offer Sarah mentioned? Would Maya actually agree to it? My hand started to sweat from nervousness, and I couldn't help but look at Maya. "David, I don't like being harsh," Maya said firmly, "but please respect my agent. In my heart, he means more to me than anyone. As for your offers, find someone who's interested. As for me, I'm not." Maya's words were strong and clear. David's smile froze on his face. This was the first time anyone had turned down such an offer from him. "Maya, don't be ungrateful," he said, gritting his teeth in anger. "Don't think you've made it. I can destroy you whenever I want." "It doesn't matter," Maya replied, remaining completely calm and not showing any fear. David, fuming, turned and walked off. I felt unexpectedly happy inside. "Maya, are you really not worried?" I asked, looking at her. Maya shook her head and shyly added, "Ethan, I've always believed that as long as you're by my side, I can overcome anything because you're my guiding light." I was stunned hearing that, looking at her with surprise. Her eyes remained sincere and clear. My eyes welled up, nearly making me cry. I finally had someone who wouldn't betray me. Just then, I heard a stumbling noise that almost sounded like someone was about to fall. Turning my head, I saw Sarah had bumped into a server carrying dishes. Soup and everything spilled all over her, making her look sad. But she just gave me an embarrassed glance and quickly left. I knew she would never dare to show her face to me again. She finally realized that the only fake and mean person was herself. I was worried David would do something crazy, so I made preparations beforehand. But soon enough, problems arose in his family. His parents were arrested and were being investigated. He had made enemies in the entertainment world over time, and now everyone was making things difficult for him. He fell from his high position, now resorting to looking for rich, older women at parties. Meanwhile, Maya and I were still continuing on our own path. Lately, though, Maya had been looking at me a little strangely. When she once again looked at me with worry, I couldn't help but ask, "Is there something on your mind?" Maya took a deep breath, as if she was getting ready to be brave. "I was hoping you'd notice me sooner," she said, "but those girls at the company are always surrounding you, making me feel threatened." I stared at her, confused, but Maya stood her ground. "Ethan, I like you. I want to be your girlfriend." Suddenly, my heart started beating fast. I had stopped hoping for any kind of romantic relationship a long time ago, but I didn't expect Maya to tell me how she felt. "Do you want to?" she asked nervously. "It's okay if you're not ready now. I'll wait for the day you are," Maya said, blushing and giving a slightly awkward smile. I suddenly remembered how she always chose me, no matter what tempting offers came her way. I shook my head. Maya looked at me, embarrassed and ready to run away, but I grabbed her hand. "This kind of thing should be said by someone like me," I told her. "Maya, would you be my girlfriend?" Maya burst into tears of joy. She nodded excitedly and jumped into my arms. "Yes," she cried.